Howdy, friend. Sam Houston here, hoping you're living in high cotton. And if you're lucky enough to be in Texas, I know you're most of the way there. Now enjoy your daily dose of Texas history and Texas pride.
Howdy, friend. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit podcast and your Texas History Roundup for May 27th. In 1853, Jane Elkins, a slave convicted of murder, was the first woman to be legally hanged in Texas. She was accused of using an axe to kill the man who employed her. At her trial, she refused to provide any explanation. It is possible that her body was disinterred and used for medical research. In 1871, following the attack on Henry Warren's wagon train 10 days earlier, General William T. Sherman arrived at Fort Sill, where he personally arrested 3 of the Indian leaders, Satank, Santanta, and Big Tree. Satank was later killed when he tried to escape, but on July 5th and 6th, Santanta and Big Tree were convicted and sentenced to hang. Texas Governor Edmund G. Davis commuted their sentences to life in prison, and they were pardoned. In 1942, Doris Dory Miller was awarded the Navy Cross for his courage during the Pearl Harbor attack, the first African-American hero of World War II. He was born in Waco on August 12, 1919, and joined the Navy in September 1939. Miller was serving as a cook on the USS West Virginia in Pearl Harbor during the December 7, 1941 attack. He was subsequently honored for attempting to save the ship's captain while under fire, and for manning a deck gun and downing one or more low-flying enemy aircraft. He died on the USS Liscum Bay during the Battle of the Gilbert Islands on November 24, 1943. Miller was also awarded a Purple Heart, has a destroyer escort named for him, the USS Miller, and has had several facilities named for him. In 1957, Charles H. Holly, better known as Buddy Holly, and the Crickets released That'll Be the Day on Brunswick Records, which reached number 3 on the pop charts and launched Holly's brief but successful and influential career. Earlier in Lubbock, he and Bob Montgomery had been performing what Holly called rock and roll. The Crickets were Holly, Larry Wellborn, Jerry Allison, and Nicky Sullivan, and they made the Brunswick record with producer Norman Petty in Clovis, New Mexico. The Crickets and Holly were signed separately by Brunswick. But sadly, on February 3, 1959, Holly, Richie Valens, and J.P. the Big Bopper Richardson were killed in a plane crash near Mason City, Iowa, on their way to a concert. Holly was buried in Lubbock. In 1961, John Tower won a special election for a U.S. Senate seat, becoming the first Republican senator from Texas since Reconstruction. In 2009, the Dallas Cowboys' new stadium in Arlington, soon to be named AT&T Stadium, or Cowboy Stadium, had its official opening. It cost $1.3 billion, it seated 80,000 to 100,000, and was the largest dome stadium in the world. The Cowboys played their first regular season game on September 20th against the New York Giants, who won 33-31. In 2023, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton was impeached by the Texas House of Representatives by a vote of 121 to 23. Several of the 29 articles related to Paxton's relationship with Austin realtor Nate Paul. The Texas Senate, in a 2-week trial ending on September 16th, found Paxton not guilty on all counts. Only 2 other Texas officials have been impeached, Governor James E. Ferguson in 1917 and District Judge O.P. Carrillo in 1975. As of the end of early 2024, Paxton still faced charges of security fraud in a federal trial. Well, and now he's running for Senate, as of the time of this recording. We shall see. Oh, Texas is known for its dirty corruption, that is for sure. But that does not mean that Texans should not advocate for secession and leaving the swamp of Mordor, D.C. to become its own country. Once that happens, then we can deal with internal corruption. But until then, nothing matters so long as we still allow ourselves to be ruled over by the tyranny from Mordor. So just keep that in mind, my friend. Okay, that, my friend, was your Texas History Roundup for May 27th. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you back here tomorrow on the next one. You take care.
Well, there you have it. If you like our podcast, check us out at feedbandit.com. There you'll find awesome Texas First outdoors gear and apparel. Your purchase helps support the Bandits and keeps this podcast on the air, fighting for you and for Texas. Remember, preserve the tradition, protect the legacy. Until next time.